Have you ever been in an escape room, solved the puzzle, and just thought, wow, how did they do that? Well, what if I told you that you, yes you, could build those same incredible interactive puzzles yourself? And the best part? You can do it without writing a single line of code. Seriously. In this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how it's done. Okay, let's get into it.
So, picture this. Your players find a set of ancient artifacts. Maybe they're glowing, maybe they're mysterious, who knows? And around the room there are these empty pedestals. The goal is clear. Figure out which artifact goes where, and when they finally slot that last piece into place, you hear that satisfying click, a low rumble, and a secret door swings open. How cool is that?
Or, what about a classic? There's this mysterious control panel covered in buttons, lights blinking, and a clue they found earlier hints at some kind of sequence. So they have to carefully press those buttons in the exact right order to, disarm a system. Get it wrong, though, and you get this loud error buzz, and the whole thing resets. The pressure is on.
And for something totally out there, what if your players had to be alchemists? They'd have to mix different colored liquids to create a brand new color, and that final potion, that's the key. All of these sound super complicated, I know, but they're actually way easier than you think.
So what's the magic trick here? What's making all of this happen? It's not some giant expensive computer. It's actually this tiny little board. Let's go ahead and meet the hero of our story.
This is an Arduino. The easiest way to think about it is like a tiny little computer, a microbrain, and all it does is follow a simple recipe that you give it. And here's the best part. You're not writing the recipe. You're just picking one from a whole cookbook of pre-written ones. This little guy is what connects all the pieces and makes all the decisions.
Now to really understand how this brain works, you only need to get two simple ideas. That's it, just two. It's all about how a puzzle senses what's happening around it and how it acts in response. We just call these inputs and outputs.
And this slide really breaks it down perfectly. Inputs are the puzzle's senses. Think of them as its eyes, its ears, its ability to feel things. It's how that little Arduino brain knows what the player is doing. And outputs? Well, those are the puzzle's actions. It's how it talks, how it moves, how it unlocks things. That's it. Senses and actions. Inputs and outputs.
So let's look at some of these senses, these inputs. You've got your basics, right? Push buttons, p-pads, things like that. But then you have the really cool stuff, like an RFID reader that can identify a specific, unique object, or a color sensor that can actually see a particular shade. You can even use a barcode scanner. These are all just different ways for your puzzle to see and understand the world.
And then the actions, the outputs. When a player solves something, you need that big payoff, right? It could be as simple as lighting up an LED, or as loud as a buzzer, or even an air horn. You can trigger a whole dazzling light show. But let's be honest, the most satisfying output of all? That's hearing an electromagnetic lock go clunk as a secret door or a treasure chest pops open.
Okay, enough theory. Let's actually build that sacred artifacts puzzle. Like right now. I'm going to walk you through step by step how to create that magical object placing puzzle using what I think is one of the most powerful tools out there for this stuff, RFID.
And this quote from Alistair at Playful Technology just hits the nail on the head. See, a simple magnet puzzle just knows if something is there. Anything with a magnet will trigger it. But in RFID tag, well, each one has its own unique fingerprint, a digital ID. So the sensor doesn't just know an object is there, it knows exactly which object it is. This lets you make puzzles that are super specific and basically foolproof.
The whole build process really just boils down to these three simple steps. You get your parts together, you connect a few wires, and you upload the pre-written recipe. Now, notice what's missing here? There's no step 0. Spend the next year learning how to program. Nope, we're skipping all of that and getting right to the fun stuff. So here's our team. Our cast of characters for this build. You've got the Arduino, that's our brain. The RFID readers are our sensors. Then there's this little relay module. Think of it as just an electronic switch. It lets our tiny 5-volt brain control a big, beefy 12-volt lock. And then you have the lock itself. And the jumper wires, they're just the nerves that connect everything together.
Now I know what you're thinking. You see a wiring diagram and it just looks like a total mess of spaghetti. But honestly, the idea here is super simple. A bunch of the wires can actually be shared between all the sensors. They can all be connected together. Each sensor just needs one single, unique wire going back to the Arduino brain. It's called the slave select pin, and it's just how the brain knows which specific sensor it's talking to at any one time. That's it.
And here we go. This is it, the big secret, the key to this whole no-coding thing.
The logic for the puzzle, it's already written for you. All you have to do is run a little helper program that will tell you the unique ID number for each of your RFID tags. You just copy those numbers and paste them into a list inside the main recipe. And that's it. You've just programmed a complex puzzle without writing a single line of actual logic.
So now that you've seen the blueprint for one puzzle, you basically have the key to build almost anything. Let's just run through a few more ideas to get your own creativity sparked, because you can make all of these right now.
Remember that button sequence puzzle from the beginning? It works on the exact same principle. The code is already written to check for a sequence of events. All you have to do is tell it what the correct sequence is. Is it button 1, then 3, then 2? You literally just type 1, 3, 2 into the recipe and you're done.
You can even make puzzles for 2 players. This quiz show buzzer system is super cool. It uses simple, pre-written code to figure out which of 2 buttons was pressed first, and it locks out the other player so they can't buzz in. It's perfect for adding a bit of friendly competition to your game.
Okay, this one is one of my absolute favorites, just for the creativity alone. You use a color sensor, and in the code, you define a target color. But the players can't just find that color somewhere. No, they have to physically mix liquids, say some blue and some yellow, to create green. Then they hold that potion up to the sensor to unlock the next step. So cool.
And of course, the trusty keypad. You could have a riddle where the answer is a number, right? Like, I don't know, how many pyramids are at Giza? The players type that number into the keypad, and if it matches the answer you set in the code, boom, a whole light show goes off to celebrate.
So here's the bottom line. The barrier to entry for creating these amazing interactive experiences, it's gone. It's just not there anymore. You don't have to be an engineer. You don't have to be a master coder. You just need an idea. You have the tools, you have the recipes, so the only real question left is, what mystery are you going to build?